Welcome back to UK Pro Writers. Today, we have a crucial and timely topic to discuss. Analyzing the impact of trade imbalances with China on competitiveness and employment in developed countries. This research is significant in today's globalized world, where trade relationships play a pivotal role in the economic stability and growth of nations. Importance of the research topic. The research topic has a paramount importance as trade imbalances with China have far-reaching implications for the economic stability and growth of developed nations. These imbalances can lead to the erosion of domestic industries, threatening job security for many in these countries. Understanding these impacts is critical for policymakers and businesses to make informed decisions and mitigate potential economic challenges. Real-world examples. In recent years, the United States has experienced a significant trade imbalance with China in the steel industry. Chinese steel exports, often subsidized and sold below cost, flooded the U.S. market, leading to factory closures and layoffs in domestic steel plants. This situation vividly illustrates the tangible consequences of trade imbalances on employment and competitiveness within the American steel industry. Second example would be, Germany, a developed country heavily reliant on its automotive sector, witnessed the repercussions of trade imbalances with China. As China became a dominant player in the global auto market, German automakers faced increased competition and intellectual property concerns. This has pushed Germany to reevaluate its trade policies and strategies to safeguard its automotive industry's competitiveness and employment prospects, underscoring the real-world implications of this research topic. Chapter 1, Introduction. Chapter 1 typically includes the introduction to the research, outlining the research problem, its significance, research questions, objectives, rationale, and the scope of the study. It serves as the foundation for the entire research, providing context and setting the stage for the subsequent chapters. Research problem. Let's begin with defining the research problem. An example of a research problem could be: the growing trade deficit between developed countries and China threatens domestic industries and employment opportunities. This sets the stage for our investigation. Research significance. The significance of this research lies in its potential to guide policy decisions and understand economic dynamics. For example, addressing this issue can help policymakers formulate strategies to protect local industries. Research questions. What factors contribute to trade imbalances with China? How does the trade imbalance affect employment rates in developed countries? What are the policy measures to mitigate the impact of trade imbalances? Research objectives. To analyze the root causes of trade imbalances with China. To evaluate the correlation between trade imbalances and employment rates. To propose policy recommendations for improving trade relationships. Research rationale. The rationale for this research is the need to understand how imbalances in international trade can affect domestic economies. For instance, a substantial trade deficit with China can lead to job losses in manufacturing sectors. Chapter 2, Literature Review. Chapter 2, the Literature Review, involves an in-depth analysis of existing research, theories, and models relevant to the research topic. It explores historical background, theoretical frameworks, and identifies gaps in the current knowledge, laying the groundwork for the methodology and data analysis in subsequent chapters. Subtopics. Historical trade relationships between China and developed countries. Economic theories such as comparative advantage and Heckscher-Ohlin model. Case studies of countries impacted by trade imbalances. Theories and models. The comparative advantage theory, for example, suggests that countries should specialize in producing goods they can produce most efficiently. The Heckscher-Ohlin model argues that differences in factor endowments influence trade patterns. Literature gap. The literature review should also identify gaps in existing research. For instance, existing studies might not sufficiently address the employment impact of trade imbalances, which our research aims to fill. Chapter 3, Methodology. Chapter 3, the Methodology chapter, outlines the research approach, data collection methods, and ethical considerations. It also defines the conceptual framework, research philosophy, and strategy that will guide the study's execution, ensuring a clear and systematic research process. Conceptual framework. A suitable framework might include 3 independent variables, such as trade volume, tariffs, and exchange rates, affecting the dependent variable, employment rates. Research philosophy. Pragmatism may be a suitable research philosophy as it combines both positivist and interpretivist approaches. Research approach. An inductive approach can be beneficial as we'll gather empirical data and derive insights from it. Research strategy. A mixed methods approach can be suitable, combining surveys, interviews, and quantitative data analysis. Data analysis method. For this topic, both quantitative and qualitative analyses are relevant. Quantitative methods can involve statistical techniques to measure the relationships, while qualitative analysis might help understand the nuances in employment impacts. Ethical considerations. It's essential to ensure data privacy and informed consent. For example, when interviewing affected workers, ensuring their anonymity is crucial. Limitations and delimitations. The limitations could include data availability, while delimitations might define the geographical scope, focusing on the United States and China trade relations. Chapter 4, Data Analysis. Chapter 4, the Data Analysis chapter, focuses on the actual examination of the collected data. It involves both quantitative and/or qualitative analyses, depending on the research design, and aims to provide insights, interpretations, and findings related to the research questions. Quantitative analysis. To analyze quantitatively, we'd collect data on trade volumes, tariffs, and employment rates. The sample size should be representative of the population under study. Qualitative analysis. In a qualitative analysis, we'd interview affected individuals or experts. The sample size could be determined by data saturation, where new information ceases to emerge. Chapter 6, Conclusion and Recommendations. In the conclusion, we'll summarize the key findings from our data analysis and how they relate to our research questions. Recommendations will provide actionable steps for policymakers, such as implementing trade policies to address imbalances and boost local employment. These chapters are crucial because they offer the audience a clear understanding of the research's key takeaways and guide future actions. Policymakers and stakeholders can use these insights to make informed decisions. Suggestions for future research. For future research, topics might include examining the impact of technology and automation on employment in developed countries or analyzing the effectiveness of specific policy measures in addressing trade imbalances. Stay tuned as we dive deeper into this important research topic in our upcoming videos. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to stay informed about the latest research and insights. Thanks for watching UK Pro Writers.